Hey, it's Danny Sunshine, and today we have another video about questions and answers. The question today has to do with the best way to receive feedback from others to promote growth. You'll get our answer in just a second. All right, well, hey there. Today is Tuesday, and that means it's a Tuesday Q&A with Jethro Jones from the Transformative Principal. Whoop, 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 whoop. And I'm Danny Sunshine over at Better Leaders, Better Schools. And we like to connect on Tuesdays when our schedule allows and field questions from our tribes, questions about leadership, education, small business, or actually anything that you want. So you can tag either of us on social media. Or you could go to betterleadersbetterschools.com/questions and put your question there. Now, before we get to today's question, which has to do with feedback and growth, we want to talk real quick about the Transformative Leadership Summit, which we're a part of. This is your baby. You started it. I helped out a bit, but this is definitely your baby. And let's just hear what's going on with the TLS this year, Jethro.
Well, it is super exciting because we're going to be talking about empowerment. And if any of you know anything about leading people, you can force people to do things or you can empower people to do things. And when you empower people to do things, then amazing things start happening and people exceed expectations and they do so much better. So that's what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be awesome. And Danny, I understand that you have already interviewed some amazing people or have some amazing people on the docket. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the people we can look forward to hearing from?
Well, I was looking through all my guests, but yeah, I know tonight I told you Adam Welcome is scheduled to speak, and he's a guy who does Kids Deserve It. If you're watching this video, don't know Adam yet, check out the hashtag Kids Deserve It. He wrote that with Todd Nesloni, who's another amazing guy who I interviewed yesterday. So he shared too. He has a couple new books out, Stories from Web and Sparks in the Dark. And Adam has a new book coming out as well, Run Like a Pirate. And let's see, Fran McGreevy from Root Ed organization. He's a good friend of mine, been a principal for 43 years. The last 20 he spent as a principal. So just so much wisdom there, to share with people that show up for a free virtual summit with some just absolute all-stars. And then I think Naphtali Hoff as well from Impactful Coaching.
Yes.
Justin Bader at the Principal Center introduced all of us to him. And so he comes and talks about what to do when you're understaffed, which is huge. I mean, because schools have a lot of holes that they need to fill. And a lot of times we think that it's a person that needs to fill that hole. So he helps us think creatively about that issue. So those are some of the people I've talked to so far. Anything you want to add?
Well, I'm just excited because those are amazing people, and I've got Todd Nesloni coming up to my district this fall.
What?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So I don't organize any of that, so I just heard about it, and so I immediately messaged him and said I was so excited about that. So
absolutely,
that's going to be awesome. I'm going to get him on the summit and then in person. It's going to be amazing. So that's great.
Wow. Make sure you get a selfie with them too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Star power there. Cool.
There you go.
Hey, where do people register for the Transformative Leadership Summit?
TransformativeLeadershipSummit.com. Super easy. Just head there, sign up for it. It'll be July 30th through August 7th, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and if you haven't, if it hasn't sunk in yet, this is a absolutely free virtual summit to attend. And in 2016, there was 1,000 people that came. Last year it was 2,500. And so if you're watching this video, go over there to transformativeleadershipsummit.com, register for free. And let's hope we're going to try to get 3,500 to 5,000 people.
5,000 people. So 5,000. Go register. Go tell 5 of your best friends to register as well.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Well, Jethro, let's hop into today's question. And today's question's from Joel McLean, who I'm just starting to develop a relationship with. And if you're watching, Joel, just thank you for everything that you do within the tribe and your leadership. Really, really appreciate it. And his question was, what are some of the most effective ways you receive feedback from others for your growth? What do you think about that, my man, Jethro?
Man, receiving feedback from others, that's a tough one, especially because as you are highly effective already, especially in education, people really struggle with giving good, high quality feedback to others. And so I have a question that I ask that I think is really powerful, which helped me a ton in previous positions. And that question is, what do others perceive me as? Or how do others perceive me? And what that does is that allows your um, supervisor or a peer or whoever you're asking that question to, that allows them to take the culture of nice that we have in education and take that out of it, and allows them to say what other people are saying about you behind your back. Now, it you don't want to base your whole life off of what other people think of you. However, what you do want to do is you want to make sure that it's clear that how you're projecting yourself is how you actually are. And that's really important. And so knowing what other people think of you can allow you to make some decisions. And when I asked that question of a former principal of mine, he told me that other people thought that I was pretty full of myself, that I was fairly arrogant and cocky, and that I knew everything, and that I always had a solution to every problem, and that I wasn't a very good listener. Let me tell you, that hurt, but at the same time, that showed me where I was weak and allowed me to develop in those areas. And I'm probably still a lot of those things, but that's something that I know I need to work on and something that I am working on to get better. So there's my answer for that. What are your thoughts on that?
I like how you approached it by asking a question, And so I think if there was a question that I asked, to a colleague, it might be, what would you do if you were in my shoes? And that doesn't
Good.
necessarily give you feedback on how you're performing, but it gets you data and ideas about how to approach problems and therefore be an effective leader. There's three things I want to share. You're going to talk about the last one, so you don't even know what it is yet, but you are.
Ooh.
But I want to bring up feed forward. And so in the mastermind, we read Leadership Step by Step by Josh Spodek. He came up with this activity called feed forward, and I could totally use it with Jethro. And so it would go like this. So instead of feedback, right? I mean, it's already happened. You can make changes, right now and hope that it impacts the future. But feed forward is asking for information to make yourself better moving forward, right? It's not looking back. And so with Jethro, I'd say, hey, Jethro, you've been podcasting much longer than me. We've developed a great relationship. You've seen me release, 150 episodes between Better Leaders and School Leadership Series. And I really want to get better at asking questions. I think you're an expert at it. What advice do you have in terms of asking great questions? And so the neat thing about feed forward is you highlight somebody's strength, right? You talk and you humble yourself and say, I've identified you as somebody who's awesome at this. I want to get better. You know me, right? You know who I am. And so what advice do you have just in asking great questions? And that will apply to me. It'll apply to everybody that hears the answer to that. So that activity is called feed forward. The other one's called monkeys looking sideways. And actually today,
Well, that's a weird name.
I know. It is so cool. I'm putting up a YouTube video. I should probably take it down and schedule it for Wednesday, but whatever, that's getting meta about it. But I have this activity in there. It's about evaluation. It's about giving feedback. And then a monkey pops up, Jethro. You'd love it. With monkey sounds and stuff, it's really funny. So everybody check it out. But anyways, here's how the activity works. Get your leadership team and get them in the same room. Give them all 2 sticky notes. On one sticky note is going to be 3 ways I add value to the organization or I help the organization. On the other sticky note is 3 ways I harm or hurt the organization or opportunities for growth, however you want to think about it. And as a leader, Jethro, you go first, right? Then you have your AP go, your instructional coaches, whoever you consider your leadership team. And when it's their turn to share, they stand up. They read the 3 positives, how you help the organization. They read the 3 harmful things or opportunities for growth. And you can only respond in 2 ways. You could say thank you, and you can also ask a clarifying question so you could get more information there. And so everybody goes around, and now you have all these sticky notes and a lot of data to reflect on. Everybody goes through that process. Maybe do it once a month, definitely do it once a quarter. And then you could also see if there's trends. So how do you help the organization the most? How can you grow, right? And so stop harming the organization. That one's monkeys looking sideways. And then the fourth one, which you're going to talk about, is the mastermind. Like, we both run masterminds. To me, this is the number one way to get feedback from others on how to grow. And so can you talk a little bit about what we do?
Yeah, that is so important. I think it is the number one best thing that you can do to grow as a leader. So we've been doing it for 2 years now, and you run some groups, I run some groups. Transformativeprincipal.org/mastermind, betterleadersbetterschools.com/mm. Either one of those are perfectly good to go to. And I've had people that have been in that group from the very beginning, and the growth that I've seen from them is unbelievable. It is so incredible. So over time, it just becomes this really powerful way to constantly improve yourself, to constantly get feedback, and constantly find ways to be better. But I also had a situation where someone just joined in January, and they were right heading up to a strategic plan session with their board, and they needed quickly to get up to speed and get all these big changes to happen and be clear on what they needed to do. And for about 2 months after every mastermind session, he ended saying, man, this is just what I need. This is perfect. I'm so glad that this happened. And this has totally changed my trajectory. And, if you want to be the principal of just another school or the leader of just another school organization, you just go ahead and keep doing what you're doing. If you want to change and be a dynamic, transformative leader of a better school, see what I did there? Combine those two.
I like it.
Then you need to join the mastermind, because it is so powerful and so transformative. It's just incredible. So you definitely want to check that out, because what it does is it allows you to get feedback every single week from people who are only interested in your success. They're not interested in you not being anything but successful. Whereas people in your immediate circle, they might have a little bit of jealousy, and they may want to see you fail a couple times, but not in the mastermind. They just want everybody to do amazing, and it's so powerful.
Absolutely. It's just amazing. So in terms of growth, finding solutions to your greatest challenges, to build your network and develop some really lasting friendships with people who care just as deeply and want to get better as a leader and care deeply about education, that this is a place for you. The other thing I want to say, if you're currently watching the video, right, it's not a year later or whatever, since the video will be around, but if you're currently watching, it's end of the school year for a lot of folks. And one conversation I've had with a number of interested school leaders is that they have PD funds to spend. And so if you find that you're looking for a great way to plug into a community, develop yourself, you have a few extra funds available, then that might be a great investment. I'd say that, I don't know, maybe 75% of my members pay out of pocket, but there are a few that figure out how to use PD funds. And then definitely charter schools, they're a lot more creative with their budgets. And so I think all my charter school people pay from their school budget.
Yeah, it's just so powerful, and being able to do it is honestly, for me, like the highlight of my week. And I love chatting with these leaders who are just trying so hard to do amazing things, and it's so inspiring. And this job is hard, and it's lonely. And for me, the people that have been most successful in my group, if you're listening to this and trying to decide if this is really for you or not, for me, it's been people who are in between their 3rd and 5th year of being a principal at a school, and they've got processes and systems in place, and they're kind of on cruise control with a lot of things, but they need to take it to the next level, and they really want to do something impactful. And those are the ones that come in and are most successful. So if you've been in your school for 3 to 4 years, give me a call and let's try to figure it out. And again, my website, transformativeprincipal.org/mastermind. Danny's site, betterleadersbetterschools.com/mm. Go to either one of those and you're going to get some amazing growth for sure.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to ask you, it's true on that website for me that you just shared. I have, I think, 4 recorded meetings. Typically we don't record them, but once a year we do. And I want to show you how the sausage is made, right? Pull the curtain back, let you guys see the Wizard of Oz. And so that's cool. If you're like, what the heck is this leadership community? What is a mastermind? Check out both those pages and read about it, or actually listen to the meetings. So that was my question, Jethro. Do you have anything like that? I haven't been on your page in a minute, so I'm not sure.
Yep, same thing. I've got some testimonials on there from members, and then also an episode of my podcast where we just recorded it and published it because it was awesome.
Nice. Great. Well, I think that's about all we have. How about one more just comment about the Transformative Leadership Summit, and then we'll sign off.
Okay, so here's what I would say. If you want next school year to give more opportunity for success to your teachers and students, go to transformativeleadershipsummit.com and sign up for that, and then get a bunch of your friends to come too.
As always, listen, if you want to submit a question, tag us on social media or betterleadersbetterschools.com/questions, and you can help us out. If you got any value today at all, you can help us out in 4 ways. Number 1, like this video. Number 2, share the video on social media. Number 3, follow or subscribe. And then number 4, leave a comment. And here's the question of the day. What would you do? What's a strategy for you that is an effective way of receiving feedback and soliciting growth from others? This is Danny Sunshine for Better Leaders.
And Jethro Jones from Transformative Principal.
All right, have a good day. Bye for now.